in the red. He is for Alpha X. The one, the only, Zoun.
How much time do I have to actually wait before it goes to the top right?
You're good right now.
Perfect. And on the top right, it is the player for Africa Freaks, who has recently been rebranded to something else that I'll actually look up right this second. It is the best Protoss player in the world, but you wouldn't think it is today because of how many games he had to play. It's Trap.
Well, you know, Gemini, technically today, or, you know, today 2 weeks ago, whatever you want to say, technically, this is the first game for the qualifiers he's had to play on this play day. So it's fine. He is.
Well, no, it's all one day.
Was
right?
it? I thought it was 2 days.
Yeah, it was all one day. GSL is the one, like the main qualifier. This is the first time that Super Tournament did a double, like a double elimination style thing. It's always been one bracket, but the GSL days for the last like 2 years has been the 2-day thing. But this time it was just all on one day for Super Tournament. So.
Oh well,
yes.
You know what? There goes my argument.
It was all one day.
1 day more. Yeah, so you know, we got a lot of PvP. Well, I believe Trap has played a lot of PvP thus far. I've been
Only
intentionally.
PvP.
Sorry.
Only PvP.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been intentionally trying to avoid spoilers as much as I can. So you know, we have a somewhat decent cast, but I know you know, we can't help ourselves. We got to make sure the Trap hopefully goes through, and not going through for the first half was very sad, somewhat surprising. Although, you know, maybe this is just my understanding of things, Gemini, but it feels like he's been slightly slumpy over the last, I don't know, month or so.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the best player in the world anymore, so it's a little tough to do that every single month of the year, I guess, for like, you know, 2.5 years straight. I can understand that. But yeah, he's been having some not as good results as he was at the end of 2020 into the beginning of last year, and then a little bit throughout the middle of last year as well. So not the greatest moment for him to be going into Katowice, honestly, as well, and also into the beginning of GSLs, but hopefully he'll be able to continue doing a little bit better throughout the rest of this year. Interesting to note, by the way, is that Trap has gone for 1-gate expand on a non-1-gate expand map, which is actually extremely uncommon. Trap almost never does this. He always will do it on the normal 1-gate maps with a ramp at your natural and stuff like that, but this is actually the first time, and he's letting the Adept shade in. That's a bit of a mistake there. That's actually going to be really, really bad, because he also got his Adept shade on the other side of the map. So both players have the Adepts in the other base, but Zoun is the battery, whereas Trap doesn't. So that's going to not favor him very well into this little early game skirmish here. Oh, did nothing die? 2 probes. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna force the Oracle energy out though. So you got the Scout, you got the Reveal, and you got technically less energy for anything to happen. That being said, you know, there's a shield battery in the naturals, so, or excuse me, in the main base, so not like the Oracle's gonna get too much done anyways. But you know what? You say this is not something that Trap does, and I believe you. I mean, no one knows Trap builds better than you do. But if we're gonna take the word of MaxPax, you know, the guy who invented this build, every single map is a 1-base expand map. So
yeah,
you know, there is that.
Yeah, it's just a trend that's happened where it's basically max packs, and then maybe some of the other foreigners try to go for this a little bit on the non-1-gate maps. And it's the Koreans that always try to break it, right? They're the ones that are very aggressive. They like to just end things and punish windows where they feel like feel like where they should be. And Trap is definitely one of those. When he played against max packs before in the DreamHack something. Hold up, this Oracle's killing things at the Nat as the Stalkers got distracted by an Adept, and they will be able to stay alive for 3 probe kills, so very nice. What was I saying? Yeah, so we played against MaxPax, Trap did, and MaxPax was going for the 1-gate expand stuff, and Trap was actively trying to break it instead of going for it himself. So this game, he's actually going for it, which is a complete switch up compared to what he's normally used to and what he normally does. So it's interesting to see that he's actually practicing it now and trying to bring this in a little bit. He did not try this in any of the other PvP matches from the first set of GSL replays from yesterday. and he was not winning there anyway. So that's not like I can say that, you know, he's doing 1 gate expands only, and so that means he's dying because he's not used to it. This is the first time I've actually seen him do it ever.
Well, as we all know from that one weird Reddit post, 1 gate expand builds in PvP are in fact the solved way to play StarCraft, and nothing else comes close. And if you didn't
You're talking
know that,
about Nexus first.
did you see that this guy claiming that he had solved every build?
Yeah.
I think
it's Nexus first actually that he's trying to prove. Yeah,
okay.
That's actually an ongoing meme with all things Protoss people as well. I don't think we need to talk about that though. Anyway.
Well, you know what? I'm just glad Trap understands the solved way to play StarCraft. It works out well.
Yeah, sure. If you want to go there.
Where do we want to go? But yeah, so we got Blink done here for Zoun. It will be DTs behind this. But yeah, for now, it's going to be 2-base 4-gate Blink coming on out. You mentioned trying to blink someone, or not blink someone. I guess technically that's happening. You mentioned trying to break someone here. That's not exactly what Zoun is doing. He's taking 3rd base, but it is delayed. So you will have that a little bit more aggressive opportunity. And I love what Trap's doing here. You don't see everyone do this, but he's just putting down so many stasis traps to keep himself alive. And that should help, just a little.
Yeah, Trap's really good actually about using all of his Oracle energy in the most efficient way possible whenever he can. He's really big about, using stasis traps to go along with his name. He loves doing that, especially if he feels that he definitely is the only way he can win is by doing that. And there's some potential. Oh, very nicely done by Zoun actually to be able to see that before he actually even had an observer. Saw the shimmer and was able to trigger with one, but he doesn't see the other one. He does see it. Wow, excellent job out of Zoun to be able to trigger all these stasis wards while also putting DTs into Trap's main base. Trap also had gone for a fast DT shrine, but didn't actually utilize it, seeing the robo, I guess. And so now he's the one that is now losing probes on the back end without any detection for them, while also now being pressured over at the front. This is going to be a very difficult situation for him to hold on to with all this happening at once.
Yeah, losing that Oracle is so important because, again, DT's light units, you can actually knock through them fairly quickly. But losing the one means you only have 1 for detection, 1 for pulsar beam. It's not really so much a thing anymore, but it looks like Zoun, he's going to win fights on both sides. 14 probes have died thus far. Shield battery overcharge is going to force these Stalkers out of the 3rd base for a time, but even still, 14 probes have died. Oracles are going down. There it is. So less detection. Stalkers in the main base are dying as well. And Zoun, he is just playing his opponent like a fiddle in this game number 1, diving and ducking and dodging and diving and, everything else you got to do to win a game of dodgeball. He is dominating here. And there we have it. GG. Zoun takes game 1. And then once again in the upper left, in the red, he's up 1-0 for Alpha X. The young gun, Zoun.
Is he young?
In the scheme of things, certainly like in terms of prominence.
That's true. How old is he? By the way, on the bottom right is the person that's losing right now, which makes me very sad. It is Trap. I'm checking his age right now.
Gemini, it's okay. This is pure and simple. He understood that you were going to be casting the qualifiers.
24.
So, not super young then. He really only came to the fore in 2020, I think. So I always think of him as young. He's not one of these established names in the scene. Although we did see him back in Pro League days.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's funny, we all have our perceptions of the scene, and they're often wildly incorrect.
It is kind of interesting, though, because 24 is actually kind of young for Koreans in StarCraft 2 at this point, right? Because basically all of them are the OGs from so long ago that are now like 27, 28, and about to be in the military, so they're rounding 30. And if they're coming back from military, then they are 30 plus. So 24 actually is young. You're right.
Well, then we have Maru. I think 23. Something like that?
Is he really that young
He
still?
started playing when he was 14.
I know. It's just crazy. Yeah, no, he's 24. That's what I thought. That's what I was going to say,
Okay,
but I
yeah.
didn't want to risk it. He's also 24. So luckily we got Maru for quite a while.
Yeah, actually, talk about that, though. Do you know what's up with Zest?
No, no one does. I don't even think he knows. Literally, like, his stream title the other month was just waiting for, like, the military or something like that. Like, it's literally, he doesn't even know. He's just waiting for them to tell him to go. And it's been like that for forever. I've literally back when Zest was on Scythe with me and Toast and them, and we had him, he got called to the military in 2018. And he told us this, and we were like, oh, that's not great. It's been now almost 4 years since that.
Yeah,
and he's still waiting.
So. I was gonna say, I've never seen someone go so far between, oh, he's gonna go to military this year, and then, actually go to the military. Every GSL has been Zest's last GSL. Like, oh, okay, well, it's the, I guess we just don't understand what the word last means.
Yeah, I don't know. I would try to make a segue about last, but I actually couldn't think of it. But Trap just lost a stalker for no reason, trying to go up a ramp, and now he's rallying 2 more stalkers across, which actually isn't the worst thing, but he almost lost both stalkers. So actually a pretty bad trade from Trap, losing a stalker for... actually, he killed 2 stalkers. Never mind. I didn't see that first stalker dying out of Zoun, so never mind. That's literally fine. That's actually okay. I didn't see the whole thing, apparently. So
yeah, I thought it was 1 for 1
decent
too.
Start.
You know what, Gemini, it's just because he's ramping up the pressure.
That's why? Just because why?
He's ramping up the pressure.
For, what do you mean?
Because Trap is going up a ramp, so he's ramping up the pressure.
Whoa. Wow. Damn, that went straight through my ears. Literally, my brain is empty. That was incredible. That was great.
Don't worry, so was mine.
No, that was amazing. Thank you for that.
Actually, who actually is ramping up the pressure in this game? It is the Zoun himself. We got a pylon on the map. So before this goes down, Gemini, what is being proxied here?
Likely a gateway. If it's anything other than a gateway, I would lose my mind. There's no reason to put anything but a gateway here.
I'm disappointed you're right.
It's like I know this game or something. That's crazy. So he's going to try to go for a early 4, probably 5 gate, or potentially 6. He might go 5 or 6 gate blink pressure off 2 base with a robo anyway, to make it just a little bit more aggressive onto a potential fast 3rd base out of Trap. Trap is also going for an earlier gateway though. Did he get the scout? Oh, he's actually also proxying something on the top. Nice. We're back to like 2018 PvP memes. This is great. This could be a DT shrine, or it could also be a gateway. Yeah, it's going to be a gateway. So Trap is basically doing the same thing, except just a little bit later. And they're both attacking each other. Generally, the person that's going to attack first when you're both attacking each other is probably going to be better off, because they were probably planning on it from the beginning a little bit earlier. So they, in general, might have a little bit more. And in this case, that is true, because Zoun's forward gateway is done earlier, and Trap has no idea this is happening, gets flanked from the beginning of this, and this is going to be a very awkward engage here.
And we do have a couple of depths here on top of the sentries, which is nice. It does mean that they will eventually go down, assuming that Zoun doesn't target them down, which he does. But even still, that flank getting inside track means the sentries of Trap are going down, his army is going down, and there is no retreat. Like Spider-Man, there's no way home. And Trap, he's been zoned out on the map. Now he's down half the army supply. Zoun can keep moving on in. And yeah, there's this timing that Trap has, where he's got +1. But Gemini, you need units for upgrades to matter. And I'm pretty sure Trap does not have those units.
It's a very astute observation that you've got right there. And, I mean, he's forced to pull probes to even possibly defend this push right now. He's warping in Zealots to hopefully tank some Stalker shots here as well. Maybe we might even... Okay, nice micro on the Stalkers, except for that one. Just kidding. Loses one. But, I mean, this is a very awkward situation entirely for Trap this whole game, because he was just not expecting this type of attack at all. And so he's been down from the absolute beginning of this stage of the game here, using battery overcharge to try and heal everything, but it's not really going to matter when you have enough Stalkers from Zoun to actually one-shot anyway. And this is just like this is like a tightrope walk with, I don't even know, it's just like it's not even a tightrope. That was the worst comparison I could have possibly come up with, but it's like you're doing a tightrope walk with a giant cardboard box just like under you, you know what I mean? And you're like holding on to the top thing, and you're just, as Zoun, just walking across it. That's the stupidest thing I've ever said in my life, but we're going to go with it. Trap is somehow still alive, but it's not going to be for very long. That's my analysis.
It's a tightrope, but there happen to be razor blades embedded in the tightrope. and you're trying to both stay on the tightrope and avoid the razor blades.
I was going on it for Zoun's POV, where it's like the easiest thing in the world, so that's why the tightrope analogy was actually just stupid to begin with. It just came into my head and I said it, and I couldn't roll with it, so basically that's where we're at right now.
Fair enough. Well, you know, we do have this pressure coming in from Trap right now. Zoun has that wonderful shield battery idea. He's going to blink on top of the Immortal. The one thing that Trap had going for him, and I guess you have +1 too, but the one thing that Zoun had, or excuse me, that Trap had going for him in this game is kind of gone as Trap blinks or gets blunk on. There we go. And with disruptors, well, they're about to disrupt every single plan that that Trap has for this game. Why don't I know these players' names? It's very difficult. Don't judge.
Protoss players are all the same, am I right? There's actually an Immortal that got rallied entirely across the map and bypassed everything, and it's now being recalled back to home after Zoun recalled to try and kill it. And so that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. The Disruptor also was actually going to get blinked on and will get killed off, which is quite nice. But again, this is all ignoring the fact that Trap is on 2 bases against a player that is almost completely fully on 3 bases himself. So anything that Trap tries to do at this point is in complete desperation mode, and I don't see a possible avenue for Trap to really claw his way out of this one, and especially since there are going to be more disruptors coming out. It's going to be very difficult to maneuver it precisely with that. Well, if he just snipes it from the beginning, that's one way to do it. But he loses his Prism as Zoun just walks right onto it, blinks into it, kills the Immortal as well. There's Zealots here tanking for Zoun as well. There's not really much here for Trap to really continue pushing now that he lost that Prism. And they're just going to go into another Blink War, I guess. But I mean, it's pretty even still. The army supplies are continually being even. The +1 is helping a lot for Trap, actually. So can he do something here? I don't think so, right?
I mean, Trap's Blink Micro is impeccable, but at the end of the day, just more stuff beats less stuff. And even as the army supply would stay equal, Trap had no ability to resupply. He's attacking through the left side. His gateway's on the right, so you're not getting anything from that. One random Zealot getting warped on in just to annoy these Stalkers to no end as the other ones come in. GG, it's a resounding success. Zoun qualifies through game 1, or through upper bracket, phase 2.